Attention, you are now listening to the Extra Medium Show with your hosts, Alex and Corey.
What's up, everybody? We are back as usual with another episode. I am Corey.
I'm Alex.
Across the room, Shaman. And back for the third time, special guest, Kyle.
Thank you. Good to be back. What's up, boys?
Oh, it's going to get interesting.
This is a heavy one.
Full loaded episode.
Yeah.
There's no easy way to go about time travel movies.
No.
Called in the experts.
You told me this is what we were going to be talking about. I was excited.
No.
Closer it got, the less excited I got. It's a There's just so much. There's so many movies I didn't realize. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I'm excited to get into it, see what you guys have to say.
We're going to do our best to try and cover all of them. We're not going to get to all of them, and we're going to sound stupid probably along the way, but that's what we're here for. All right, well, when you talk time travel movies, I mean, Back to the Future is what comes to mind for me.
Yeah. Mostly, I think a lot of people consider the second one probably the most, like, time sensitive. I don't know how to describe
Involved.
Yeah, because doesn't he go to the future, and does he go back to the past,
Yeah,
too?
I think he hits all three timelines in that one.
He runs into himself.
Yeah. That's always a risky
He runs
thing.
into himself going back in time.
Yeah.
The self that he runs into is also the time traveling version of himself.
Oh, shit.
So that's why number 2 is like so crazy, because they relive scenes from the first movie in the second movie.
That's why it's so good.
Yeah.
That's why the movie's so good. I mean, it's the holy grail of time travel movies.
The original or number 2?
I mean, the whole franchise, I guess. But
Go ahead.
It's the ghost.
No, that was me.
so I heard about a spirit or a ghost or something.
Yeah, it might make an appearance tonight.
Okay. But yeah, it's the whole franchise is the holy grail of time travel movies. But the first one's
I agree. I agree. I do like the Wild West, but that was in a different episode. We're not going to bring it back up.
Yeah. But, I mean, see, and I'm trying to not get into the scientific aspect of the time travelness, but Back to the Future kind of works on he goes back in time, and then that creates an alternate timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
If you don't know how the flux capacitor works, just say that.
it's 1.21 gigawatts.
Now, I have a question. Do you believe that going back in time creates a new timeline? Or do you believe going back in time, you cannot change your current timeline at all?
Oh, you can change it. I definitely think you can change it.
Yeah, but when you go back to your original timeline, is it changed? Or did you just create a different timeline with a different alternative you?
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I think the multiple timeline, multiple dimension theory comes into play. I think they mention it in Avengers Endgame.
Yes.
They talk about, and she even draws it out, shows that this point is where, timeline splits, and now there's two realities.
Yeah.
So you're never actually changing your current timeline. You're just creating a new possible timeline.
Correct.
That's where Back to the Future is a little different than newer time travel movies, because he changes his current timeline.
Yeah,
Right, that's like the
one
picture, right,
timeline.
where the people start disappearing?
Exactly.
Okay.
No, that's a separate timeline.
No, it's
Yes, it is, because that creates an alternate universe that he's not born in.
But I think
But it's
that's-
in that same
Yeah,
timeline.
there's one.
But it's not,
It-
because then he creates a new timeline, and his parents are cool in that timeline, because if he went back to the other timeline, his parents would have been the same parents that he left behind.
Yeah, but he's deleting his current timeline. That's why he's
No,
getting
yeah,
deleted.
Yeah, I think there's one, because it wouldn't be such a big deal. Just go back to your.
It's like
old
it's like
timeline.
if you have a tape and you like a VHS tape and you re-record over something. It's like that same
Wow.
thing.
Okay,
That's
so
actually a good
Damn.
analogy.
You like
so that's Back to the Future. That's Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the same
Now,
concept
which
in Bill.
theory do you want?
That's the
believe
same
in.
theory. Back to the Future and Bill and Ted is the same. It's
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah, I think
Like
he's
how they're
asking
like leaving
single
notes for
or
themselves for the future in Bill and Ted, like when they're in the police station and he sees a note, he's like, "Oh, by the way, duck," and then right when he reads
Yeah.
that, the guy turns. So that's like the same timeline.
the same
right?
timeline. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what about like butterfly effect? Because that's essentially what it is, right? What it's basically called.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's changing his timeline.
Right. Like that's his timeline.
Yeah, because he's going back.
That's the same timeline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's going back
Okay.
in his timeline, changing a certain aspect of his timeline, and it's changing his future outcome
Yeah.
because he's living it as it's coming out.
The butterfly effect blew my mind when
Mhm.
it came out. Like,
I'm not a huge Ashton Kutcher fan.
No?
But
He's
it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's one of his better movies.
Yeah.
I'll say that hands down.
man, that shit's intense.
It's just one little thing.
Yeah.
You do one little thing.
Yeah,
and
like
it's-
when he blew his arms off.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucked. Or when he was in the prison. Man.
Yeah.
That whole movie had me fucked up.
Yeah. And then there's 4 different endings to that movie.
Yeah.
So depending, like I watched it in theaters,
Okay.
and the version that I saw in the theater, he's in the mental institution or whatever at the end, and he's running from the guards. That's all the same. Then he plays the slideshow,
Uh-huh.
and it's a birthday party. And he goes back to when he's first introduced to the girl. He tells her that he hates her, and if she ever comes around him, he'll kill her and her family. She runs away screaming, so they're never friends.
Yeah.
And then they pass each other on the street at the end.
That's the one I've seen.
And this is all part of a different ending though.
Oh.
And then there's a version where they pass each other on the streets and then they keep walking
Mhm.
the separate ways.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the version you saw?
Yes.
They walk
Yeah.
separate ways.
Yeah.
Then there's a version where they stop and talk to each other,
I did not see that.
and they go out on, like they assume get together. Then there's a version where he stops and follows her. She keeps walking, and then he turns and follows her.
I've seen that one.
And then there's another version where the video that he sees instead of the birthday party
Mhm.
is his mom giving birth to him.
Him?
It's a video of his mom giving birth in the hospital, and he goes back to there and he strangles himself with the umbilical cord, and he's never born.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck,
Took
that's
a fucking turn.
Damn.
It's like a director's cut. You can watch it. It's on YouTube. Yeah, he goes back and like it's a video. Yeah, because he goes back with the pictures and with
Yeah.
the journals, and
Yeah.
then it's a video of his mom. He goes back, and then they go back in time, and it's the doctors, and they're like, he's choking himself, and then yeah,
So he's the infant?
he's not. Yeah, he.
Or the whatever?
Mm-hmm. It's wild.
Of all the places I thought this conversation was going to go, not
not
there.
that dark.
I just wanted to talk about that movie, man.
Well,
It's intense, and I feel like
There's a miniseries I watched a little bit ago, a while ago, and it's about the Kennedy assassination, and it's called 11/22/63.
I've heard about it.
And it has like that same exact butterfly effect kind of stuff. Because so basically, James Franco is a teacher, like an English teacher, and just for context, he teaches a class with adult children trying to get their GEDs or something. Not adult children, that didn't make any sense, but adult students. And there's this one guy, they had to write stories about why they were who they were. And one person is talking about they were like abused when they were a kid. So remember that. He goes to this diner, James Franco does, and in the closet is basically a time machine. And when it sends you back in like 1961 or 1960. And your goal is to stop the Kennedy assassination. I don't know why he got chosen. Originally, it was the owner of the diner, James Franco. The guy came over, like served him coffee. 10 minutes later, the guy comes back and he's 50 years older and dying of cancer. So when you get sent back, you age appropriately, but when you come back, no one else is aged. You know what I mean? So it's one of those situations. But you have the 2 years. That guy tried to stop the Kennedy assassination. I can't remember if he did or not, but then it's James Franco. But since he has 2 years, he's just kind of chilling. And he finds the kid who was an adult in the beginning of the show, and he stopped the child abuse. But because that happened, something else bad had to happen. And it's kind of like
universe has to even out.
Yeah, it's kind of like Final Destination, where not like in Final Destination, it's death.
It's the ripple effect.
Yeah, like so he saved that kid from the human abuse, from the abuse, but then across the street, the house caught on fire and the family in the house died.
Yeah,
or something like that. You know,
that's what I was gonna ask. Is Final Destination a time travel movie?
Whew.
I mean, she sees into the future. She doesn't necessarily travel herself into the future.
Yeah, no.
She has
No,
a
it's
premonition.
yeah.
But she affects. Yeah, I guess it's not.
No.
Sorry.
There's some stretches for time travel movies. I don't think that qualifies.
That whole life balancing out thing. I played a video game that it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
But
And
it's called Life is Strange.
It makes sense.
And something bad has to happen no matter what. Like
it always
you
has to be in like equilibrium,
Yeah.
so like it can't be unbalanced.
Yeah, like if you went back in time and stopped the Titanic from sinking,
Right.
the whole timeline would change because all those descendants would be alive. You
Exactly.
think everybody else would die because to balance it out?
So yeah.
I mean, so if you can go back in time and do something, you just don't do it because the unknown could be worse than the tragedy itself. Is that the thought process?
Well,
like you don't go back and assassinate Hitler because
I was just about to ask you that.
who knows what ripple effects that produces. I think
Like
it's a safe
you could
bet.
probably prevent World War II, but then what happens if something twice as bad?
Yeah. So you can't.
Yeah.
But would you do like if someone came up to you and they were like, "Hey,
Twice as bad as World War II, like World
That's
War
what
IV.
I mean. Like I feel like it's a pretty safe bet that killing Hitler's probably going to turn out better than not. But
yeah,
I mean, I guess chance you want to take.
yeah." If someone gave you the opportunity to do it, would you do it? Would you think you're bettering humanity?
What you're going back and like you're killing 8-year-old Hitler because it's easy.
Just strangling that motherfucker.
Yeah,
No.
because then what?
Now,
Like yeah, then
I have a
like
question. Now, Hitler was the man in power. He's the one, rose to power and
Right.
made all the hate towards the
Right.
Jews. Do you think World War II would have still would have happened without him?
I mean, technically, World War II could have happened from the Japanese because they didn't have anything to really do with Hitler. They were just mad about the oil.
and
So it could
I
have
mean,
started, yeah.
Italy might have had a little.
I'll say it. I'm selfish. I'm not doing any of that. Going back, grabbing a sports almanac, coming back, getting rich.
Hell yeah.
End of story. That's what I'm doing.
That's a valid
Get rich. That's it.
Valid
I mean,
point.
that's pretty much what Project Almanac is. They just time travel for the fun
You
of
don't
it.
even have to go. I would just go back like a couple weeks.
Yeah,
I mean, you
they
go
went
back
back
a
in
year,
time.
grab Bitcoin.
Is that the best? Well, yeah. What would be the
or-
best way to get rich if you could
Lottery.
go back? Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean,
pick the
$500
numbers,
$500 million
Yeah.
lottery, bam, you're
I mean, there's a
instantly
bunch
rich.
of ways. Sport.
Would they
sports
would they
betting,
think
I mean,
someone was up if you just like won $1 million horse racing? You won the lottery. You just whatever games were playing that day. You won all big bets on the.
That's what Biff did.
Yeah, it's not what you know; it's what you can prove.
Exactly, but then
What are they gonna do?
they'll stop you from betting. I mean, it happens in Vegas all the time.
I mean,
you're
if I
card
have
counting.
like $1 trillion, I don't need to be.
They
I
can't-
can stop.
Well, the whole premise of have you ever seen Time Cop?
I've heard of it.
A long time ago.
What they are is time enforcement cops, and their job is to prevent people from going back and getting rich. Like that's the whole idea. Like the movie opens, it's like 1863 or something like that, Civil War time.
Okay.
Confederate soldiers going down the road, they've got a whole wagon full of Confederate gold. Guy stops in the road, give me all your gold. They laugh at him, get the hell out of here. He opens up his trench coat. He's got 2 machine guns with laser sights on it. Blows them all away. Takes the gold back to and that event is what they use to create this agency. They're like, hey, The scientist, he invented a time machine. It's real. Here's how we can prove it. Over in Germany, they just found Confederate gold stamped. We authenticated it. It's real. People are going back in time and trying to get rich. So they create a whole agency designed to prevent people from going back and doing just that. And there's scenes where guys, it's 1929, stock market crash, and he's sitting there with his newspaper, like circling the stocks, like this one crashed, go buy a bunch of it, because in 2014 or 1996 or whenever the movie's set, that stock rebounded and he's getting rich. So that's the whole premise of the movie, is preventing people from going back and doing what I said I would
That's
do.
a good concept.
Yeah.
I mean, people are going to cheat the system if that ever becomes a legitimate thing. I mean, people always have a way to figure that stuff out.
All right, so these are all movies with that same timeline.
Yeah, it's changing their time.
What else is on that? Like, so like,
Is Men in Black 3?
see, I think Men in Black 3. There's definitely alternate universes.
Yeah, because when he died, when the main character, not Will Smith, but the other guy.
Yeah.
When
Okay.
the bad guy goes back in time and kills him, it does change the timeline, but Will Smith can remember the other one.
Right.
Now, is that a multi-universe, or is it
Because
just
he can
changing?
remember the other one as well.
Yeah.
I think it's multi. Well, plus there's that guy who talks about the different.
The Griffin. Is
Yeah,
that what it-
yeah.
Yeah.
He's watching the Mets game when everybody else can't see it. Yeah, that's a multiple.
Okay.
What you just explained is literally Donnie Darko, and that pisses me off. It really does. Because
Well,
I know your feelings on Donnie Darko.
It's not even that I don't like Donnie Darko. It's that you like it so much, and I don't think it deserves that. It's like, at least Men in Black explains what's going. Like, it explains it.
Yeah, but
Donnie-
Donnie Darko leaves it up to your imagination to decide what.
Like I said, I'm not
I
getting.
got to tell you, I listened to the Donnie Darko episode and was like, I got to watch this fucking movie. Then I listened to the next one after you had watched it, and I'm like, I'm not watching this fucking movie.
God damn it.
So you didn't watch it?
No.
Well, I'm
Leave
sorry
it up
for
to the
turning people.
imagination. I don't like that.
It's lazy.
Not
Well,
it's like
you
it's like
guys are kin.
It's like
all
writing
right?
half a book and leaving the rest of the book blank and just saying, I'm leaving it up to the reader to
God
decide.
damn,
Get
use
the
your
fuck out
like
of
it.
here.
Yeah, I don't
Use
like
your
it. Write a book.
imagination. I'm a dreamer, all right? God damn it.
Either make a movie or don't.
Thank you. I
Shane,
mean, you haven't
stick
seen
up
it.
for me,
You
God
should
damn
see
it.
it just so
I
you
think
can.
it's a good
Well,
movie.
I
Like,
mean, I will.
I don't
but
like it as much as you do, but I do think it's a good movie. It's
I was
good
going to run
production.
out and watch this movie.
You should have.
This is the greatest movie he's ever seen. I'm like, I got to see it. And
And
then
I would recommend at least watching it once. Give us your input on it.
Man.
It's probably
catch
gonna
it
be
on TV.
Very similar, very similar to Corey's.
I can't take anything from your family serious now.
Well.
Disappoint me, Kyle. God damn. It's all right.
I'm sure it'll be on TV. Hallmark Channel, probably, from what it sounds like. But I'll catch it and report
I
back.
think it's on Netflix, isn't it?
No.
I don't know what I watched it on.
It's on Amazon
Um,
for anyone who wants to listen or watch it still.
time travel movies tend to be serious, right? There's
Yeah.
a few that
Yeah.
aren't.
Yeah.
Hot Tub Time Machine. I mean, it is serious. I mean,
It gets serious, but at the beginning, it's
still
just
stupid.
pure chaos.
At its core, it's still a comedy.
Yeah.
Underrated comedy.
Yeah.
I will add.
First one was a lot better than the second one.
I haven't seen the second one.
I haven't seen the first one.
Really?
Yeah.
You're missing out.
It's a good watch. I
If
want
you
to
can-
say it's a great
If you
comedy,
can
but
trust my my movie judgment, it's a good movie.
No, it has Craig Robinson and the other guy from The Office.
Clark Duke.
Yeah.
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 I'm a big fan of both of them.
Yeah. I heard it's fun.
It is.
They party
It's good.
hard.
Great White Buffalo.
What?
Got to watch the movie. You'll get it.
I have seen them. Terminator.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a pinnacle time travel movie.
Yeah.
What's the best Terminator?
2. When Terminator, when he's the good guy.
Yeah.
What do you like?
Terminator 3, Judgment Day. Or no, that's
Terminator 2 is
no,
Judgment
two.
Day.
Rise of the Machines is 3. Oh, it's so good.
Nah,
So
Terminator
good.
2 is the best.
Terminator 2 is good. I like that. That's one of those movies. They don't really explain the time travel at all. It exists and
yeah.
it happens, and
They don't
that's
explain
it, yeah.
how time travel is
Yeah.
possible. Yeah.
like Back to the Future gets into it a little bit. Avengers Endgame really tries to dissect the science.
Why do
of
they
it.
travel in time in Avengers?
To go back and get the stone so they can use it to undo what Thanos did, because they can't change it because he destroyed the stones.
But it's fun. Have you seen it?
Nope.
Oh, so in that movie though, they reference Back to the Future, Time Cop.
Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah, they reference all.
Yeah.
So all those movies exist in that universe apparently. But like, they look at like time travel's not a real thing, and they kind of make it not a spoof, but they're very much aware that it's like we're time traveling like in Back to the Future, and like that's a whole joke within the movie. So it's pretty good. But they discuss.
Another comedy that mentions time travel is, have you ever seen Black Knight?
Yeah.
That is so funny to me. Just the way he acts in there, and no one has any idea what he's talking about.
Yeah. What's funnier, Black Knight or Robin Hood Men in Tights?
Black Knight, probably.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Robin Hood Men in Tights pisses me off. We've already talked about this.
All right.
I have bias against it.
You're right. You're right.
And first major letdown in my life, and after that, it was just that was life letting me know that it's just gonna be a big letdown from here on out.
Now, let me get your opinion. Is being frozen time travel, because you're literally going from one time to the other without your conscious being.
But the thing with that is the same amount of time is still passing, just you have not changed.
Yeah, but
so it's like your perception is time travel.
Yeah.
But if that's what you think happened,
You went at the
that's what
same
happened.
speed as normal time, so you're not really traveling time. You're just...
I mean, you're traveling through time just at the normal
mentally,
rate.
you're traveling through time.
Well, no, your body's traveling through time, but you're not aging. You're not going through the process of decaying.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, because look at Idiocracy. Like,
Yeah.
Such a good movie.
It's
No.
scarily accurate.
It's got electrolytes.
I mean, the way we're going, that's looking.
I like Gatorade.
I've got one for you in that lane where there's no cryogenic freezing. Have you ever seen Blast from the Past?
Yeah, I forgot about
Yep.
that.
Yeah, he's in that. I mean, for all he knows, life is the 50s, and
What's his name? Brendan Fraser.
yeah.
Big fan.
Yeah, he's mentally stuck in the 50s.
I mean, he
or
doesn't
whatever it
know
is.
anything. Like, I guess it would be that the perception of time travel for his parents, because they knew life in the 50s. Like, he was a baby when they
Right.
went down in that bunker, so he didn't.
No,
really
he
know
was
anything.
born in the bunker.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she was
yeah,
pregnant.
yeah. So that's all he knows. So he didn't really know the difference in time, but his parents
Right.
could go up and be like, all of a sudden it's 40 years into the future.
Yeah.
You know,
They thought
no
it was
cryogenic
like,
freezing there. But
Yeah, they thought it was like the results of a nuclear war.
yeah,
And it was a plane crashed on their house.
Yeah,
right?
Something
yeah,
like that,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And then the door got jammed or something like that.
That's a good movie. I forgot
yeah,
about
it's
that
pretty
one.
good.
I
yeah.
did forget about that. That's a good
And they're
film.
rich too because they had a bunch of stocks from the 50s. I think like
Yes.
Kodak or something.
Yeah.
they bought for cheap in the 50s, and so they're millionaires when they come up.
That's
It's-
like you ever seen Frequency?
oh, it's been a while.
See, I don't know if that's not time travel. But he communicates
yeah,
with
he
the
commu-
past.
Yeah.
So his dad was a firefighter.
Yep.
Is he a firefighter too? Or is he a police officer? He's something.
Yeah, I
He
can't
gets an old CB radio. His dad's old CB radio. His dad died in a fire. And he starts communicating. And he finds this guy, right? So he's talking to this guy, and then they reference like the Mets or something. And he's like, well, and he's like, no. He realizes that he's in the past.
Okay.
And then it's his dad that he's talking to
I
in
don't
the
think I've
past.
seen it, but
And he warns him about the fire, and then anyway, he tells he's talking to a kid on the other line, and he tells him about Yahoo, and then he invests in Yahoo because that used to be a thing.
My mom still uses Yahoo.
I hope he got out.
Just
in
put her
time.
out on blast right there.
I haven't used Yahoo in.
Someone's got to be using it. It's out there.
Yeah. It's still out there.
It is my mother.
Does she ask Jeeves?
Would you consider here's an oddball.
You?
Is,
Okay.
is Field of Dreams time travel? Now you would think of I'm thinking of the players. That's not what I'm referring to. When he goes back to 78 to meet the Doctor, right? That's
Yeah.
time travel, right?
Yeah.
And then does he ever really come? Like he meets the people back in his normal time, but he never really traveled back in time, like, right?
So like the players time travel.
Well, no,
Or
he's
those
talking
guys
about,
ghosts?
Like,
Those
when
guys.
he goes
yeah.
back and like meets the Doctor.
Yeah,
and
at
all that
nighttime
stuff.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah. That part.
Because the license plates say like 78 or something like that.
Yeah.
But are they ghosts?
Is that like a ghost universe, or is that?
I think it's time travel because, like you said, the license plate has a different time on it, right?
I mean, I don't really know
There's
how
ghost
ghosts work,
cars.
but ghosts like take pictures of like what's around them when they die.
True.
What?
In theory,
I'm gonna say no.
Like
No.
imagine they say ghosts are just reliving whatever event happened sometimes when they die. So like if you're walking down the street with all these cars, that's what your energy's gonna be as a ghost,
yeah.
right, Shaman?
Yeah,
I needed him to back me up on that, and he.
I've seen enough.
Yeah.
Now, Planet of the Apes, and the one with Mark Wahlberg, does he time travel in that?
The new one.
That's not the new one.
No,
That's
it's like the one from like
90s.
2002, I think it was. Because he's an astronaut that goes through like a portal or something, or a black hole. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, and he goes into the future where monkeys are smart and they've taken over, right? Or,
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
because they don't know that Earth is. I mean, if it's like the original, I'm basing off the original. I don't know that I've seen the Mark Wahlberg one. They go in outer space, and I believe people are gonna be pissed if I'm wrong. They go like the speed of light or something, and the time travels faster around them than where they are.
Yeah.
The same concept that comes into play, kind of like with Interstellar.
Yeah, they go in the black
And
hole.
then they come back, and they land on that planet, and they don't know and it ends up being Earth in the future, and they don't know that it's actually Earth.
Do you think like
Something like that. I'm sorry if I got that wrong.
most people think the way to time travel is to go faster than the speed of light, right? Is that you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah. That's
That's the basic theory. Yeah, that to my understanding.
physics.
I mean,
says
I'm no
that's-
astrophysicist.
No, that's the
but-
only way I think that time travels.
Or do you use
possible.
wormholes?
Well,
which
wormholes is the dense matter from where light cannot escape. So there's no.
that's a black
That's
hole.
a black hole.
Oh,
See, this is where I was worried we have to go here, but it's gonna
Maybe
expose
black
all of
holes make you time travel because no one knows what happens when you go in a black hole.
it. Well, I mean,
in Interstellar,
but the science behind Interstellar is accurate.
I get it.
It's exaggerated,
but it's a guess. It's
not
still
a
a guess.
It's not a guess.
They
That's
have
real.
no idea what's
Well,
inside
then
a black
it's an
hole.
educated
No,
guess.
the science behind
So you're telling
time slowing down the faster you
No,
go.
I get
is
that. I'm
real.
saying what happens when you go past the event horizon in the black hole.
yeah,
They don't
yeah,
know.
that part of
In
it.
Interstellar, they had him go into, I forget what they called it, the bookshelf thing.
Yeah.
They
no,
don't know if that's
I
gonna
thought we were
happen.
talking about being
We're
on that
talking
planet.
about different things.
No.
We're
Being
talking
on that
about
planet, an hour was 7
Yeah,
years.
yeah,
or whatever
that
it was.
is
that's
for
real. It's
real.
exaggerated.
yeah, because
but
the
that's real.
wormhole affected the time.
No, I get
Yeah,
that. I agree with that.
Gravity and time dilation and all that shit.
Yeah,
It-
I get that.
That's real. I mean,
Yeah.
that's real.
Yeah.
That's how you time travel. We'll get there.
eventually.
You got to go fast, or warp.
Do you think
time.
Do you think cavemen, or even the people before them, like, used time?
Like they had the comprehension of time.
Yeah. When do you think time started?
Like
I mean, they use the
timekeeping?
sun.
Yeah.
They use the sun.
Cavemen.
The
Just
sun
from the
is
beginning?
regular.
Well, I get that, but like, would they know to like, okay, the sun's there, so I only have
Yes,
who
yes,
came up with
absolutely.
that? Who came up with hours though? That's another
No,
thing.
somebody is assigned numerical values
Okay.
Yeah.
to distance of time. I mean, it's,
I mean, time's
Not
not gonna
a-
wait for anybody.
God damn, Shaman has that tattooed on his chest.
No, on my arm. But no,
Right
but
under
if
no
you think
regret.
about it, no matter what you do, unless you're time traveling, you can't affect the flow of time. Like no matter what you do with your person,
Can. That's what we're talking about.
unless you're time traveling
You just go fast. That affects time.
you can't go back.
to yourself.
No, I don't think you can
It
go
doesn't
back
affect
either.
anything besides yourself.
Correct.
If you can't go back, how can you go forward? You're saying that assumes that there's nothing behind us, but there's something in front of us. If there's something in front of us, there's going to be something behind us.
You
too.
can make
Yeah.
time. You can make your time go slower relative to Earth. That you
Right
can
now?
do, yeah.
So I look so young.
That's why. That's why
They have
our satellites
Yeah.
that orbit Earth, they've got to be adjusted on a yearly basis. It's like nanoseconds, but there's a difference. Those clocks are different. It's real.
Okay.
Now we don't have the technology, I think, to go fast enough right now to really make any meaningful thing, but they do it in Interstellar. That's what they're doing.
Okay.
So yeah, you can.
That's like what warp speed is too, like in Star Wars.
yeah, because they're going
Hyper-
faster than light to get somewhere else.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Okay.
It's good concepts though.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Time travel? Where are you going?
I'm going
Where are you going? If you had a time machine right now,
forward. I'd go
Forward?
into the future. Yeah. What's
Forward.
behind? Nothing's better than now.
I mean, you could go way, 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 way back.
I might want to see some historical stuff. Let's see the
Like, I'd like to see
Declaration of
Rome.
Independence. You know, but
Yeah,
life's gonna be fucking rough.
Miserable. Yeah.
Like
But
want to
what-
shit in a bucket.
What if
and,
you had the
know,
ability? If you had the ability to skip around, obviously,
Yeah, like I said, I'd pop in, peek in a window. Oh, they're signing the
go
Declaration
back
of
and like see
Independence.
Earth before humans,
Take pictures,
all
take
dinosaurs.
stuff.
But what happens?
Take a
like,
picture and I'm out.
you know, you I guess it depends on how you travel, but you pop into, you're in the woods or whatever, and a big dinosaur foot comes down, stomps on you, and it's over. Like, I'm not taking that chance.
Then that dinosaur hits my time machine, goes back to where I just came from.
Chaos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow.
let me ask you
Good
this.
movie.
So
Don't steal my idea.
without there being a butterfly effect, who are you going back in time and taking out? This is a moral question.
I mean, there would be a butterfly effect. That would be the point.
I understand. Okay.
It
So
wouldn't
just
cause
the-
any.
To what the butterfly?
No, even if it did, I think there's people that it would be worth taking
Okay.
the risk.
Okay, who?
I mean, we already obviously
Talked
we
about
talked
Hitler.
about Hitler, so
Yeah.
we'll leave that off.
What if I said, like, as a Browns fan, like, not even take out, but just like
Injured.
Tanya Harding, John Elway's knee in the 80s. Browns are like 3-time Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
But just think, this Super Bowl Baker's about to win would not be as sweet.
That's true. That's true. Listen, I was gonna
Sunny
go.
days wouldn't be special if it wasn't for rain.
I was gonna go along the same route because I'm thinking Dave Thomas.
What?
Wendy
He fucked
says.
your life up?
Wendy says messed my life
That
up.
What did
man
Junior
hurt
Bacon
you?
do to you?
It's done too much. I'm telling you, man. I think about it every once in a while, but you know, it is what it is.
Damn.
What about you?
I don't know. I mean, take somebody out. Like, damn, take somebody out.
Well, just change history. Like I said, I'm not killing John Elway. He's not playing this Sunday. But
Maybe stop Facebook from happening. I don't know.
Facebook?
Yeah,
Okay.
just go break Zuckerberg's
What would be
computer or
better to get rid of,
something, like-
Facebook or Amazon? Because they're both
What would
pretty
be
too powerful. in my
better
opinion.
for society?
Yeah.
Getting rid of Facebook.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
There's
something
nothing-
else would have happened. Like,
Sure,
MySpace would have
sure.
stayed alive.
see, that's why
Yeah.
that's not even a good one. Is because something else would have just
There's
replaced
nothing wrong
that.
though with getting your order in 2 days. Like, I
And
like that.
there's nothing wrong with their arguments. There's nothing wrong with connecting with a friend in China.
You got
Call
friends
them.
in China?
I have a friend in China.
Me
Really?
too.
Yeah.
Well, look at.
I asked him about.
We should get him on the
COVID,
line.
but-
We
I
should get him
stand
on the line.
corrected.
I have friends in China, Germany, Korea.
You talk to him through Facebook?
I messages on.
See, connecting.
I
The
stand
world.
corrected. I'd still get rid
Shaman
of it.
is
And I would
Mr.
shut that shit
International.
down.
You'd have to mail him a letter. I'd still get rid of Facebook.
Yeah.
Would you ever have a pen pal in a different country?
No.
I used to have one.
No.
It was when I went to a Catholic school, and we were pen pals with these people in Mexico, these kids. And my pen pal, his name was Jesus. But when I'm 9 and I'm at a Catholic school, I'm getting a letter from Jesus. Dude, I was balling.
Jesus plays kickball and stuff.
Hell yeah. His favorite color is green. I was like, fuck.
How long
guys.
did you stay in contact with him?
Just like 2 months. I think the cartel got him.
Damn.
Yeah. You know.
Well, there's a movie also. I think I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, called Primer. And it's these two guys basically just keep going.
That kind of sounds, just from what you've said so far, sounds like a gay film.
That's what it is. A homoerotic film.
Yeah.
No, these two guys are like, they just keep going. There's rules. They can only go back as far as when the time machine is turned on. So it's basically like within a week of what's happening. And then there's
Okay.
like different versions of themselves. So like at one point there's 3 versions of the guy in the same universe in the same place, and he's like locking his one guy in a room to stop him from time traveling again, and like trying to. It just turns into complete chaos.
The time machine is basically like recording everything. That's like you can only go back as far as it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like he goes back, and then another version. So they have hotel rooms, like, so they make rules that they're not out there causing chaos. So they go back in time, and then there's like a pattern that they do every time. So they go back, and then another version of himself is going to the hotel at that point.
How does he get a new version of himself?
Because he goes back. Like, I don't know. You'd have to watch it. It's
Okay.
confusing. But they're all there.
Okay.
What?
Hmm?
Just say it.
So you guys have watched 12 Monkeys, right?
That's
Yes.
another intense movie.
Kind of sounds very similar to what you guys were describing.
No.
Nothing like that?
No, I don't think so. 12 Monkeys is crazy because it has the Shutter Island effect where you don't know whether or not he's just crazy. The same kind of Donnie Darko thing
Mm-hmm.
where they make you think that it's one of those frustrating movies where the main character's trying desperately to tell everybody about something and everybody thinks they're crazy.
Yeah.
Shutter Island,
Mhm.
conspiracy theory, it's that kind of thing.
But then he starts to actually think he's crazy too.
Yeah.
Because enough people call you crazy, you're going to start
That's
thinking
what
you're
happened.
crazy.
So there's a virus that ends up taking out almost all of humanity.
Mhm.
They send him back. They're trying to send him back to 1996 to stop the virus from coming out. They think it's this group called the 12 Monkeys. They end up sending him back to 1990. So none of his contacts are there because it's 6 years before. They think he's crazy. They lock him in a mental institution. He ends up jumping back and forth and basically doesn't change anything from what I understood.
No, he's meeting the people he needs to meet, but he doesn't know who they are because he's too ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
And
the whole time he's trying to convince them that he's not crazy.
right.
And then they
Right.
finally convince him that he is crazy at the time that that everybody else is realizing that he's not crazy.
Yeah, because he made a comment earlier in the movie, and I think this was a real thing. Some kid got stuck in a well
Yeah.
in the 90s, and there was a huge thing trying to rescue him. Like, news stations were covering them for like a week. And he's like, oh, it's just a hoax. He's hiding in the barn. This was like 2 days before they got the kid out. And then the psychiatrist, the person who he's with, is listening to the news after he admitted he was crazy. And the news person's like, oh, and in other news, the kid was found in a barn and it's all a hoax. And there was no way he would have known.
So then
that unless he was
she
from the
tries to
future.
convince him again that he's not crazy, and he's like, no,
Yeah.
you're right, I'm crazy.
And then it turns out who they thought was going to release the virus just did something else.
yeah,
like
it ended up being a different guy.
Yeah.
And then,
Now, do you think that would really happen to anybody who's time traveling and got stuck?
Yeah,
in
that's
that?
what's cool about that movie too. Is like, just because you're time traveling, like you're not immune to like the mental aspect of it. Like he loses it.
Yeah. Well, and then it didn't help that in the beginning when he went to 1990, when he was in the mental institution, they kept drugging him. So he was out of it the whole time there, too. So he's just getting wrecked from both sides.
So it's like, I'm going to take you, send you back to 1972.
Mm-hmm.
Just I picked a random year. How do you prove to someone you're from the future?
You
You got to do something like what he did with the news story.
Well, and also in that they sent him back too far again to World War One. He got shot in the leg, and then he instantly went back to 96 or 90, one of the two.
Yeah.
And they took the bullet out,
and the bullet.
and they realized it was a World War One bullet
Yeah.
that shot him. So that's how.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't. Everybody thinks you're crazy.
But
Until something major happens, everyone's just gonna think you're crazy, in my opinion, because those things, this news article and getting shot, were major things.
why
And
would
then now what's the chances of you knowing about it? Can you tell me an event from 1972?
that's what I
right
mean.
now?
And even if I got it right, who cares?
Right.
Like, there's somebody
Right.
out there that's going to predict any
Yeah.
major.
why would
thing.
you need to prove it? I mean, I
mean,
guess to stop something major,
Yeah,
to
if
get
I'm
access to something, but you're not.
Or maybe
gonna be
he's
able
in
to-
a mental institution because they think he's crazy because he keeps saying in 3 years.
And that's the other
so-and-so's
thing.
Gonna get
That's the
arrested.
other
They
thing.
Sarah Connor me, and I'm locked
Well, that's the
up.
other thing.
Yeah.
It's like you say you'd go back and kill Hitler, right? How?
Exactly, you're not gonna get anywhere near
Yeah.
him unless you go back when he's like a teenager.
You'd have to go to like where Hitler's bunker is, if that's how time travel works.
I disagree with that because if you're going back in time, you can take something to help you in that situation. Like, let's say Hitler's at one of the rallies. You went back in time with a high-powered sniper rifle.
Well, you're gonna be willing to die.
Yeah, you've got to be willing to die.
That's I would say so.
I don't know if
Or, yeah, you go back to wherever
But
he was
if you
born,
kill him,
Austria.
if nothing else happens negatively in the timeline, your one death saved dozens of millions.
Or you go see. I think you just go back and like kill his mom, or you go back and like kill his mom's mom.
Yeah.
At that
Because
point,
even back then the laws were kind of crazy.
But see,
you
that's
could,
the thing. That's
you
the
could probably
thing,
get
too.
in and out. There's no DNA. There's nothing going on.
If you kill him that early, Germany was in a recession after World War One, like really, 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 really bad, and Hitler got him out of that, and then he started doing all the bad stuff. So if you kill him before that,
Yeah, he
is
was
Germany gonna
Man
get out
of the year,
of the?
2 years in
Right.
a row because he
You know?
invented the Volkswagen.
And then I could cause the collapse of mankind.
Germany at least.
Damn.
And we have a
I'm sorry.
Bavarian listener.
Damn, I'm sorry, sir. Or man.
Yeah.
I don't know what the.
Yeah, see, everything has.
I don't know how to
ripple
say
effect, and you gotta
sorry
take
in
that into
German.
account.
That's why I said, go back, get rich, keep it to yourself.
Fuck them.
I mean,
Yeah.
more or less, yeah.
Look out for yourself. Don't tell anybody
Now,
about it.
if you went back and got rich, would
Are
you
you-
stay back there, or are you coming back to your future self? Like you'll obviously be the same age, but it depends on
That's where the multiple or the single timeline comes into play. Are you just creating a new timeline? Where
what
you're
would be
rich?
more enjoyable, buying all this stuff, or getting to like have all this stuff. Like,
See, I
ready
think
to
you know
go?
what I would do. I would go. Like you could go. I would go to the future,
Okay.
print off or whatever I got to do to bring back just a list of events, and then just be like, almost like a Miss Cleo or something, and just
Messiah.
yeah, I'd just be blowing people's mind. People would be coming to me, what's gonna happen? And I'd be like, Baker Mayfield's gonna throw 6 touchdowns, and
So you're doing it the other way. Like, I'm...
Well, if you're
it
going
would be
that
more
route,
fun. It would be more fun that way.
go to the future.
Then you just know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, but
then you're a celebrity.
But yeah, then you got to work for it.
Then you live forever.
Well,
'Cause you're a legend.
If you're going forward in time to get rich, just go forward in time. Learn how to make something that's going to revolutionize
That's too much work.
mankind.
but then-
steal the.
It's like go make
If-
an iPhone or something.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
Yeah.
Out Zuckerberg. And
Yeah, exactly. Make the
Do
flying
Facebook.
car. Get filthy rich that way.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not changing your timeline because it hasn't happened yet.
Either way, it doesn't matter. I would just do the future and back version, and then you could still make your bets.
Yeah, I'm saying going back in time and grabbing the almanac. I need to go forward and grab the almanac.
Yeah, because then you're just watching all
But
stuff that you've already known what
back in
happens.
time. If you have an almanac now, you can go back in time.
And get
win
my
the bet.
riches there.
Yeah.
And come spend
Yeah.
$80 in 2021.
Oh, that wouldn't be good then.
No, you go to the future,
Yeah.
find
Yeah.
out
This
what
whole time,
happened.
nobody
Yeah.
corrected me this whole time.
Yeah.
My plan. I'm gonna.
I just did.
I'm gonna
You go
pop
to
into
the-
1990 like, all right, time to get rich.
Well, you
and
go back-
Not have shit.
You can take the almanac from this year, go back to your younger self. Pretty much what.
Yeah, I mean, I could go back
no.
like 2 weeks and bet on.
You look at the next.
Whatever.
You go 10 years in the future, find out what
Yeah.
happens over the next decade, come back, place bets now. Watch them actually happen for the first time.
Exactly, yeah,
so you're
that's-
not watching the same shit you've already watched and know what happened.
Yeah, that's probably the better thing to do in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you're not technically changing your timeline because your timeline hasn't happened. You don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
If it changes, you don't know. You know.
Right.
So.
That's the move. We missing any other movies? Groundhog Day.
Yeah, that it's a favorite of mine. And I was actually talking to my girlfriend before this, trying to come up with some out of the box stuff, and she mentioned Groundhog Day. Actually, does that count?
I mean, he's reliving
It's
the
repetitive.
same day. He's going back the same day over and over again.
Repeating the same day. Is that time travel?
I mean, I think that's an alternate timeline because
Does he age?
No.
No?
it starts over. I mean, he dies. He kills himself, and then
They like actual scripts really dark, and he kills himself like thousands of times.
Really? Does he
yeah.
start getting creative?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The movie shows 2 or 3. I think he drives off a cliff one time and something else. But in the script, like it was supposed to be a lot darker.
Yeah, I mean, but he retains the information every time. So, yeah, that would be time travel in my opinion.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
remembers
does-
the
Because
others.
if he
That's-
didn't remember, it'd be 50 First Dates.
Yeah,
and
There
that's
it is
why
right
it's an
there.
alternate. That's why
Yeah.
it's an alternate. Like he's creating a different timeline every time he wakes up. That's a different timeline, and then he has to get them in order, to keep going in that timeline. Like all the other timelines are blocked or something. Like it's weird.
yeah, that's a good conversation starter.
Another one that I kind of forgotten. I think most people forget out is A Christmas Carol.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I completely forgot that. That's one of my favorite movies.
Because yeah, he goes sees the ghost of
The
Christmas
Mickey Mouse
future,
version?
Christmas past.
Ooh.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't taking a shot at you. The Mickey Mouse
No, that's
version of the
good.
Christmas Carol is the best one.
I like the Bill Murray one.
Is it Mickey Mouse?
Is
Probably.
Ebenezer Scrooge? It's the duck. Is
Yeah.
right?
Maybe
Daffy
it's the
Duck.
duck, but
Yeah, it's like the Disney version. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
a.
yeah, that's the best version. No disrespect to Bill Murray.
You basically said "fuck Bill Murray" with your eyes.
That's what I heard.
Golly.
I'll own it.
All right.
All right, so without getting into a science lesson, I don't know how much more about fucking time travel movies we could get into, so we could probably move on to the next segment of the countdown. All right, well, completely shifting gears with the countdown movie. I think we are on what, number 88? 87. 88. Number 88.
Yeah. Toy Story.
Say it again.
Toy Story.
One more time.
Toy Story.
Deserves it.
Yeah. It's a banger.
One of the first movies I remember going to the movie theaters to watch.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I was
My-
a small came when it came out. When
My babysitter took me to see it. I don't think you went.
Who was your babysitter?
you didn't have the same babysitter?
Maybe.
I don't know. When did this come out? 90.
4.
95.
Yeah, we would
7.
have. We would have.
Yeah.
I don't remember
I was
going.
2.
Though. What are we all saying? Our ages in 95? We're not doing that.
Kyle is 37 years old.
What the fuck?
But so what do you got to say about it? You probably have a different. See, I grew up almost with the same age as the character in Toy Story.
Andy?
And so every year Toy Story would come out, he was pretty much my age
Yeah, okay.
in every movie. So it's kind of
You
like,
guys went off to college at the same time?
I believe so, yeah.
That's cool.
Did you guys
At least within a couple years, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't.
did you have any of the toys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which ones?
I think all of them at one point.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, indifferent.
Nah, I don't think I had any.
Let me tell you what my favorite toys were.
I can guess.
Guess it.
The Green Army Man.
Yes, sir. So fucking cool.
Nothing wrong
Loved
with that.
them. Loved
I mean,
them.
I've got all the toys now. My daughter loves Toy Story. I mean, she was Buzz Lightyear for
I
Halloween.
mean, it brought all those back.
Yeah.
Like the newer movies.
Yeah. Toy Story never stopped.
Well, no, but it brought the '90s toys to the new generation. I mean, you didn't see kids playing with Mr. Potato Head, all that much.
Yeah, you did.
I feel like that's the one toy that you would see.
Yeah,
people-
bro.
but-
That's the Mr. Potato Head's been out way before Toy Story.
But like,
Yeah, but now you got the electronic stuff and stuff.
right?
They're still popular.
Toy
Can't
Story.
beat Mr. Potato Head.
Toy Story was like the first Pixar like blockbuster
Yeah.
movie,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Probably.
It was like the first type of that animation that kind of
Yeah. I really enjoy that kind of like that. Like Ant's Life. Have you ever seen that?
It's called A Bug's Life.
Oh,
And then there's
I
a
got-
separate
I
movie
got 'em
called Ants.
confused. I got them confused.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ants
yeah,
is a
right.
rip off
Yeah.
of Bugs, which Ants is a good movie in itself, in my
Is that
opinion.
Stallone?
I think so.
And then A Bug's
I
Life.
thought it was Woody Harrelson.
One of them is Stallone, I thought.
I don't know.
I thought he was an ant. And then A Bug's Life's better, though.
Yeah, for sure. Better. The animation is better.
Have you seen all the Toy Stories?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I don't think I've seen the newest one. Four. With Forky.
Yeah.
It's not.
I haven't
great.
seen it. No.
They're
Yeah,
not
I
even
haven't
in
seen
like
it either.
a house, right? They're in.
Yeah, it's a. I've seen it in the background a couple times. It's like a road trip. They're on like a road trip. No, I held off on watching 3 for a long time
Yeah.
because everyone said how sad it was.
Yeah.
And it is, but it was like a happy sad.
Yeah.
Like it
I got that
wasn't
same
what I was
feeling.
expecting. They're like, "Oh, you're gonna cry." I didn't. I could see, where
It's kind of like a life goes on kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah. I mean, it wasn't the emotional impact that I thought it was gonna have.
Well, you have a cold heart.
What's has a movie ever made you cry?
Yes.
Not that I can think of. I'll tell you what. I have to fight back tears all the time. Is all those soldiers returning home? They
Yeah.
do those like surprise.
Oh,
like I
yeah.
just saw one. The guy was the
Yeah.
umpire. The kid's batting,
Man.
and the umpire's like cleaning off the plate, and he stands up and like takes his mask off, and it's like, God, like, I'm just trying to scroll through fucking TikTok or whatever, and you're gonna hit me with this.
Why you hold back your tears, man? You gotta let those things flow. It's good for you.
Yeah, I know. Therapeutic probably, but
What's the last movie that made you cry?
I don't know the last movie. I cried at Casper the Friendly Ghost when I was a little kid. I remember that.
Like the original one
the one
where they're in the
where there's a real people, like it's
yeah, and then the lab is in the basement.
and the kid comes back. He gets to be a little boy for a while, and then
Yeah.
he goes back, and he
Yeah.
can't be a kid. He has to go back to being a fucking ghost.
Yeah, he sacrificed himself for.
Yeah, he's like 8. Come on, man, let the kid live. I mean, I get it. It's Casper, but
Have you ever seen when
Okay.
Casper met Wendy?
Yes, that's a good one.
Lizzie or what's her Hillary Duff?
I don't know.
Banger. Enjoy it. But no, I like Toy Story 2 a lot. That's the one where they're in the grocery store, right? Or not grocery store, toy store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to hear interesting fact about that?
I'd love to.
They almost deleted that entire movie before it came out. Somebody entered a code wrong, and it deleted all the saves, recording, all the work that was in process, everything from their hard drives and everything. The only reason why they had a backup is because a lady was on maternity leave. And she had the only copy outside of the building to be
Damn.
processed. And that's the only reason why they made that
Yeah.
movie happen. And if you look in Toy Story 3 and I think fourth one, there's a code that shows up periodically, and that's the code that the person entered that deleted it. So,
Damn.
Oh, they did it to make like
yeah,
poke fun at it.
Yeah.
Like an Easter egg.
Yep. I
Damn.
just find that extremely funny.
Toy Story 1 has the best story, though,
Yeah.
overall. And when it came out and everything around it, I think it's probably the best Toy Story movie.
Did you realize when you were a kid and first watched it, like Sid's toys, or the one was like a hooker? You know, have you heard that before?
Yeah.
I have, yeah.
It's
I know-
like a fishing rod and with like Barbie legs.
Yeah.
I know there's like different throughout the movie, Sid makes cameos, like he's the garbage man in one
Yeah.
of the things, and he's throughout that. But
And the
li-
pizza truck.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Is it Toy Story 2, I believe, was the first time they had the outtakes at the end?
Yeah.
Ooh.
cartoon outtakes, yeah,
I like
Fucking
cartoon outtakes.
genius premise,
Yeah.
and the bits are funny.
yeah,
Yeah.
But the whole idea behind outtakes and like saying a line wrong or something with animate, just
They had the little
Fucking
cartoon shorts at the
genius.
beginning too.
Yeah.
Those were good.
Dude, I remember it might have been A Bug's Life before it was these two guys playing chess.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the same guy. That was my favorite out of all of them that I can remember.
those were cool. I wish they would bring those back.
I mean, if you have
Yeah.
Disney Plus, I think they have them on there.
I think you can watch just the shorts, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. I might do that.
See?
it was Stallone and Ants, by the way.
Nice.
Was it?
Yeah,
Who was in A Bug's Life?
I don't know.
No.
I don't care.
It's not Stallone.
Yeah.
So you're an Ants fan?
No,
Oh.
I was just
Seems like
I
it.
threw out a little factoid
Seems
and
like
wanted to,
Yeah, back yourself.
drive
up.
it home.
I got you.
All right. So what are you rating Toy Story?
Now we doing just movies or animated movies?
Movies.
Animated.
No, we rate
This is a
these.
movie
These are
list.
these are movies. Your recommendation
films.
overall.
Films.
Yeah, films, works of art. So let's go. We'll go to our guest first. Put the pressure on.
That is a lot of pressure. Jesus. It's hard not to say it's a 10 because I can't think of something wrong with it, but I'm going to say a 9.2.
Wow, hit the applause. 9.2 might be the highest rating that's ever been dished on this.
For what it was at the time and what
Still holds up.
spawned off of it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a whole genre in itself that was created with that, and they
Yeah.
nailed the story. I mean, yeah.
it set the standard.
Yeah. I mean, look at the door it opened for all the other movies that came after it. I'd say if Toy Story wasn't Toy Story, things might have been a little different. Alternate timeline.
And just the concept in itself of toys coming to life after.
yeah,
people
it's
aren't
fun.
around.
Because look at how many kids watch that movie, and then they'll walk past their room and they'll like
Everybody did it.
try to
You're
peek
lying.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I still do that.
Yeah,
I ain't
you're
You're
gonna lie.
lying.
lying if you
catch
said
them.
you didn't do it.
You know.
The
It even
broad-
made it onto Family Guy and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, the broad appeal of it. Like I've said, my daughter's huge into it right now. I'm entertained by it. Like I can sit down. Like if she wants to watch some other, Peppa Pig or something.
You're gonna turn it on and walk
You
away.
want to watch Toy Story 2? Yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what about the it's not even the main characters too that are enjoyable.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the T-Rex and the pig. And,
The comedy for adults that
Yeah.
they write into it
yeah.
is excellent.
Yeah.
So it hits you on two different levels. And for me, like, I watched it as a kid and enjoyed it as a kid, and then watched it again as an adult, and it's kind of like watching a different movie in a way. I'm gonna give it a 9.0. Solid.
damn.
Highest one I've rated yet.
Damn.
But it has a special place in my heart.
See, I'm gonna go 8-9.
We're still up
I don't
there.
want to give it a 9, but it's as high as I'll go right now.
Can I ask why?
It's a personal reason.
Oh, is this not a safe space?
If you want to be honest, I was gonna say 9-2 originally, and then I was like, I don't want to be the same as him, so I'll drop
You
it down.
can
I thought
totally
of,
be the same.
I don't want to be the same.
But you got to give Toy Story its respect. You see, you're
You're
trying
gonna hate.
I'll go
my,
back to the original. I'll go back to the original. I'll say 9-2. But I want you to know, you both guessed the numbers I was going to say, and I wanted to be different. I don't want to be a follower. I want to be a leader.
Don't try and use Toy Story to stand out.
No.
Show Toy
gonna
Story
hate
some
my rating.
respect.
What's yours?
8-4.
Get the fuck
8-4.
It's a good movie, and I'll sit down and watch it.
What
but
is missing? that gives it an 8.4?
Action.
What? He's dangling from the back of a truck,
Yeah, but
What you mean action in an animated film?
and there is action.
does anybody die? And inanimate objects die.
The G.I. Joe. Oh, you
That's
said
a
it.
toy.
Yeah.
You want people to die in Toy Story?
I mean,
What
it's
other people die in other Pixar movies? Or
in Atlantis?
is that Pixar? No.
No,
But why?
it draws me in. 8.4, still a good rating.
Shaman is a psychopath. We've already
hate-
established it.
It's still a good movie. I'm not gonna rate it.
You just
a
wanted
9.
Andy to get hit by a car. That's all.
No, man.
I got you.
Like if they would have brung the army guys in and actually had like a full blown battle against yellow army men, that would have drew some.
You want an
more
army
interest.
man
That would have
race
been
war?
pretty sweet.
Exactly.
Well, not that.
That's what he said. He said yellow versus green.
You know that would have drew my. I'm still going to watch it, but I'm not saying that it's a 9.
Is it the best Pixar movie? In your opinion?
Yeah.
So every Pixar movie is below an 8.4.
Monsters Inc., The Incredibles.
I thought I was being a little low with 9. Just because it's so solid. There's even a love story.
If you had a time machine, I'd recommend you go back and give a different rating.
No.
Shaman. Shaman dies on his hills.
Yeah.
No,
died,
no.
no one died in the Coliseum, if you haven't heard.
I didn't say no one died.
That's absolutely what you said.
I said it wasn't as gruesome as we thought it was. See? Okay, but
You're both right. That is what you said, but I knew the point you were
Okay.
trying to. He was
Thank
not
you.
going to let you escape.
yeah.
But
And I came back
knew what you
later
were
and
getting at.
rephrased it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna stick with my 8.4.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Judging me, I thought this was a safe space.
Never. So we're done with Toy Story? Anything else to say? I mean,
I do like how
we haven't
how-
talked about Buzz Lightyear.
Who's your
Like-
favorite character?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I mean, Woody's the best character.
He shows
Is
the
he
most
though?
growth.
Taking
Is
him
he?
and Buzz off the table,
Okay.
go with your secondary characters.
Army Man.
the Army Captain.
The whole
He's
squad.
cool.
Was that Sarge?
He is Sarge. They don't have officers.
The aliens in the Claw game.
Yeah, they're
Really?
cool.
Yeah, they're
Those are
awesome. They're
bitches.
funny.
They were like the Toy Story version of Wookiees.
Yeah. I guess.
I think I'd go.
Like they
Mr.
kind of
Mr.
help.
Potato Head.
They kind of helped.
Yeah.
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 Mrs. Potato Head's funny too.
She is.
I also like the dog. Slinky.
Slink the dinosaur.
I like Ham. Is that his name? The pig?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Woody's the best though. He's
I
To
like
me,
Buzz Lightyear.
He shows the most growth. Like he did not like Buzz at all. And then he
Yeah.
worked with him. He, saw his
talking
point
character
of view.
development.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But only enough for an 8.4.
So I was trying to see. So Don Rickles played Mr. Potato Head.
Okay.
With the voice of Potato Head,
Mm-hmm.
and he passed away before I believe Toy Story 4 came out. So instead of revoicing him, they took all of his audio from previous and pieced it enough together
Wow.
to use his voice in 4,
I like that.
That's what's
which I
up.
thought was
Yeah.
a little, cool thing to do.
Respect.
Yeah, for sure.
I
for
like
sure.
that.
So, whose movie is Toy Story? It's Woody's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
whole.
Yeah, he's
It's kind of Buzz. I mean,
Mm.
no, I guess it's Woody. Woody's there from the beginning.
Yeah.
That's why.
Or is it Andy's?
Andy's gone
you
after.
could make that. You could make that. I mean, it follows Andy's.
life.
Yeah.
But
But
then
not
when Andy
before.
leaves, it's still them. So
Even in 3, it's not Andy really anymore.
Do you
Good
think?
question though.
Do you think There's gonna be. Is there gonna be a next one? Did they set it up?
They shouldn't. Just call it.
Yeah.
Make a TV show or something.
I think 4 was too much, to be honest. 3 was a nice.
They already
ending.
have like shorts and Christmas specials, and it's crazy.
Yeah, you could keep the characters going, keep that cash flow coming in without adding to the
Right.
to the franchise.
You gotta do a spin-off or something. you
They
know?
have. That's what I'm saying. They've done Christmas. They've done
Buzz Lightyear had his own cartoon show.
Yeah.
He's got his own movie coming out.
Does he?
Yeah, and I forget who plays him.
Yeah, they had a
Is it
video
like
game.
an animated
No.
movie?
No, I
Ooh.
believe it's live action.
That'd be
Ooh.
interesting.
I believe.
That's what they need to do is a live action Toy Story.
Yeah, but,
But how
they
would
had
they
to
do
do
it
it.
with
They had
the
to do
other
it right.
toys?
They did it with
Well,
They
the
could
cartoon,
do it.
The cartoon didn't have the other toys. It just purely was based off Buzz Lightyear.
same way they did
and
Ninja
the Star
Turtles.
Command. They could do the Buzz Lightyear Star
No, I
Command
get that.
movie.
I get that. But is that what you're talking about, or doing Toy Story live action?
Yeah,
Okay.
How can you do the toys in Toy Story?
you figure
Well,
out.
like The Lion King was semi-live action.
I heard that wasn't very good.
No, it wasn't,
Well,
in my opinion. But like Snow White, not Snow White, Beauty and the Beast.
yeah.
That was pretty good live
Yeah.
action
I
adaptation.
mean, how they do the Beast? It'd be the same way. It'd be the same thing.
That's true.
Yeah, Lightyear is the name of
Lightyear.
it. Released in theaters June 17th, 2022.
Okay, so
Okay.
And it's Chris Evans.
Oh,
It's going to be
shit.
Buzz Lightyear.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically going to follow a young test pilot.
okay.
Before he gets in Star Patrol, or whatever they're called.
Star Command.
Star Command. Yeah. That'd be cool.
I could see that. Yeah. See, that's a good spin-off right
yeah,
there.
and that's what they
So
need to do.
is
No
that
more.
is that going to be a movie based on what Buzz Lightyear is based on?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. That's a good route for them to take and not do another Toy Story.
Yeah, no, I don't need a Toy Story 5. Like, go ahead and
Right.
do,
Yeah,
do
that's
this
cool.
type of stuff, yeah.
Or do like a Woody spin-off or something
Yeah.
like that, you know?
Eh. Kids western, I don't think.
You don't want a Woody?
Almost made it through.
And
Almost made it through.
And with that, oh wait, everybody rated it. Shaman
Yeah.
gave it a shit rating. All right, on to the next. Let's get into this. What did you watch? We'll start with Shaman.
Okay, I'm actually ready this
All
time.
right, let's go.
So I took a cue from Alex and I watched Band of Brothers as you suggested.
Hey!
I actually liked it. It was very good.
You watched all of them?
Yep. It was a short
Hold on.
No, it's fine.
You deserve
My
this.
class is sufficient.
yeah, it was very good, and like you said, it was very good. The way they used the light in the show,
Mm-hmm.
you know, when they're down in the dumps, it was kind of dreary, you know, grayish, and when they were having a good time in what was it, Austria, it was very bright
at the end?
Yep,
Yeah.
very
yeah.
bright, very sunny, and all that.
Yeah.
Very good way of using light,
Yeah.
in my opinion. It was the action parts
It's intense.
Yep,
Makes
inten-
you feel like you're in
when they're in the
combat.
bulge, or
the
what was it
Battle of
called?
the Bulge when
Yep.
they're in the Ardennes, I think.
Yeah, the forest and stuff, and the artillery's coming
Yeah.
in. Oh, that was great.
The thing about that show too is it builds you up with these characters, and then in an instant they're gone.
Yes, and people want to talk about how like other shows like Games of Thrones get rid of their favorite characters.
Yeah.
These guys were dying left and right.
Yeah.
And you couldn't
because it's
keep-
real life. Because
I like that.
Yeah, exactly. And you couldn't keep track of who was who.
Yeah.
Because, you know, somebody died, they bring in a replacement. That person would die, bring in another replacement.
Yeah.
And all these names sound familiar, so you're like, who is who?
Yeah.
That's I don't want to get off of your movie, but that's what drew me in when we were watching Zombie Show. We watched Z Nation
Yeah.
because like you think you know who the main characters are,
Yeah.
and then like that character dies, like,
Yeah.
and they
Like
don't
it's
even make a
nothing.
big deal about
Right.
it, and then they move
Right.
on and like, well, that's not even the main
Yeah.
character.
Yeah,
It's
and
kinda just,
that's exactly what
Yeah.
would happen in Band of Brothers. Like, all these guys would die.
Yeah. And then they had an episode called Replacements, and it shows, like, I mean, you see it all the time in war movies that they treat replacements like shit, because if you get close to these guys, they're just gonna die, you know, for the most part. So they treat them like shit. They don't even want to be their friends,
Yeah.
you know. So it kind of makes you feel, when you're watching the show, when you see replacements, you don't care about them, and you kind of hate them too, because they're not the guys who started out the show with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think that's the better.
So you watched the whole thing?
Yeah, I watch. I mean, it's only what, like 12 episodes.
10
or something?
episodes,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but they're like an hour and like 15 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, in the beginning of every episode.
You just sat down and binged
Oh, yeah.
14 hours straight.
Dude, it's good. It's
Yeah,
easy to do.
Yeah, you get
That's wild.
It
invested
covers
in it.
it covers from them training, I think in like Georgia, and then they get deployed to England, and then they jump in Normandy, and then it covers Normandy, and then they jump in Holland, and that was a failed mission. They get fucked up there, and then it shows them in the Battle of the Bulge when they got surrounded by the Germans, and then it shows them going into Austria basically when the war's over. They're the ones who found the place called the Eagle's Nest.
Yeah, I didn't actually realize that was a real thing.
Yeah, and it was like this kind of shitty looking concrete mansion in the mountains of, I think, Austria, where Hitler lived. And it shows one of the guys stole Hitler's photo album, and he sold that for a whole bunch of money after the war. But it's cool. They find in one of the episodes. I'm sorry, I'm talking over your show, man. But they find a concentration camp, and they liberate that.
And how heartbreaking it was to stop giving them food because they were actually making them more sick.
Yeah,
The commander tells them, like, oh, we can't feed them. Mm-hmm. We have to do it, slowly.
And they have to put them back in the camp. So that you just freed everyone. Now you have to lock them back up because they can't have them drifting around town and getting in. Like, if they eat too much, they'll literally die. So they had to keep them together. And then the town that the camp was next to, they made all the civilians there come and bury all the dead people that were in the camp because they could smell the ovens and they didn't do anything about it.
Yeah. It hit a few nerves.
Yeah.
Yeah, so great show.
Super intense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, did you watch anything, Kyle?
I did. Just a coincidence. The movie I watched was In Time. Not a time travel movie, but I remember when it came out, 2011. It turns out. So for the last 10 years, I've been wanting to watch this movie. Like, I remember seeing the previews, and I'm like, "Oh, this looks great." 10 years later, I still hadn't watched it.
Justin Timberlake.
Yes.
Okay, I've seen parts of it.
Time is the currency. So it's set in the future somewhere. So the premise is for the first 25 years of your life, you live your life. When you hit 25, you've got a clock on your wrist of 1 year. And at 25, that clock starts. You stay the same as you are at 25 for infinity, as long as the time the clock on your wrist doesn't hit zero. If it hits zero, you die.
Oh, so you don't age. Everyone's
no, you don't
just
age.
25.
Yeah, everyone's 25.
Oh.
So it basically, as you could imagine, it's a kind of a play on capitalism and class structure and all of that. You've got people in the rich part, so that the world, I guess, or the town is broken into segments, and on the far end, you've got guys with 500 years worth of time on their wrist. Mm-hmm. On the other opposite end of that, when you say living day to day, that's what these people are doing. They've got 28 hours on their wrist, and they go to work, and it gets down to 2 hours, and at the end of their shift, they get 25 hours back. And they are literally living day to day. They have to go to work to get that time back. So Justin Timberlake wants to fuck the system, and he does. And he goes around and robs time and steals time. And
Can you give people your time?
Yes.
I think that's how the movie actually progresses.
Yeah, time is
some
money.
Rich guy gives him
time is currency.
Yeah.
So there's it starts out at the beginning. Yeah, Justin Timberlake's guy gets X amount of time, which it was a lot. It was like 10 years worth of time.
I thought it was like 100 years.
It was something crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he gives like a year to his buddy, and that was like more time than that guy had ever seen. And it.
Yeah, he goes around flaunting it. From what I remember, because I've only seen it years ago when it first came out. He goes around flaunting, and someone tells him that don't do that, otherwise somebody's going to steal it. Yeah. So he kind of draws it back, and then he pretty much splurges, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, something like that. And you're right. When you're in the day-to-day life segment of town, like, you can't let people know you have more than a month.
Yeah,
You know, they're going to start trying to rob you. And there was a futuristic way they robbed people and passed the money back and forth and all that. But then you go to the other end and like a guy had a vault and there was like a chip with 1 million years on it,
Damn.
just sitting in his vault, like not even on his body.
Yeah.
He just had it stored away, and it just showed like you'd go buy a burger. It's 2 hours.
Yeah.
Is what it costs and stuff like that. So really it I wish the movie would have shown more of the day-to-day life. Like it showed the whole, fuck the system
Yeah.
type thing, and it went that route, which was fine. And it was a really good movie. I'd recommend it for sure. But I wish it would have explored more of that day-to-day. Like, is this thing that I'm about to purchase worth it?
Yeah.
If you're
There are-
talking shaving time off your life to
Yeah.
do it.
There are, yeah, and there
I
are.
like the concept it touches
Oh, yeah,
on.
yeah.
I think there would be benefits to living like that, to be honest with you. To some degree. I mean, if you were comfortable with knowing when you were gonna die, I guess. But,
Yeah, but then the rich stay alive forever, pretty
Yeah.
much, and then they're going to control everything. And then if you look at it, the day-to-day people, they can't do anything about it because they can't afford to miss work.
Yeah, you
Otherwise,
literally
they're gonna
can't.
die.
You literally can't miss work. Like people were cutting it. You would see people cutting it down to the minutes.
Yeah,
and the
doesn't his
seconds and
mom die or somebody?
She can't.
They're running.
How
towards
did
each
they
oth-
die?
They just dropped dead
just
Okay.
just dead.
because his mom's literally running towards him to get time because she's out of time.
in theory, it's a good
And,
concept.
Yeah,
And she
like-
had given him earlier in the
get
movie.
lunch- to get
She had
lunch.
given him like 15 minutes to get lunch, and then she ends up being like 10 seconds
yeah.
from.
They're literally running towards each
Yeah,
other,
yeah.
and she just drops dead right in front of him.
Damn.
Yeah. No, the concept is great. I was a little disappointed in the movie, but it was still good. It just wasn't what I was hoping it would be. It was more of a,
I'm also not a Justin Timberlake actor fan.
Really?
Yeah.
I think he's good.
Man, an Alpha Dog. Have you ever seen
Yeah.
that? He's really good in that.
Really
movie.
good.
You should
Yeah.
watch that. Yeah.
Alpha Dog?
Alpha Dog. Check that
That's
out.
the first movie you'd have to look it up. That might be his like first.
It's a good movie. I'm just saying.
Really?
I don't even want to get into it. Just watch it. It's good.
Okay.
movie.
Okay.
But the in theory of like working for time, I mean, there would be no drains on society because
Yeah, but then there would be
No,
overpopulation.
but there's not enough.
In theory, too, wouldn't eventually all of the rich people have all the money?
Yeah. Of
Like,
course.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you talk about trickle
that's
down
reality.
economics.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that's with money. When they have all of the money in that universe, they're the only ones left alive. So then, it starts.
they could just keep reproducing though.
reproducing what
Humans.
people? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because then you get in overpopulation and stuff like that.
I just don't think there's enough to do to pay people like
Yeah.
to earn. You're gonna have to give to someone. There's a whole segment
Yeah.
of the population that you'd have to give to. Yeah, I mean the movie's kind of what you'd expect. But yeah, it's a class warfare class.
That's cool though.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
good movie.
Good concept in the movie.
Yeah, excellent concept. I just wish it would have went in a different direction, but it was still I was entertained.
Yeah.
So, I just got back from North Carolina,
Okay.
which is where you did not want to be last week, because there was a gas shortage. If you guys didn't know, I almost didn't make it back, but we found gas.
Filled up your Ziploc bag.
200 miles, dude, no gas. Like, you would drive past gas stations and just no gas. Signs up. It was weird. 200 miles, easy.
Apocalypse.
Yeah. Well, we made it back. But while I was there, vacation with my in-laws,
Yeah.
I needed to take some solitude. So I went up to our bedroom and turned on the TV and just happened to catch a movie that was just coming on. So it was a totally random movie. It was Kong Skull Island.
Okay.
Is that the one with John Goodman?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
okay.
yeah, there's a decent amount
Yeah.
of people. John C. Reilly,
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that movie.
Yeah. Better than I thought it was gonna be. I mean, it was kind of dumb.
I like the Vietnam War sense it gives off.
Yeah.
You know?
John C. Reilly. Well, yeah. Well, John C. Reilly gets
He's the guy who's like stranded.
Yeah,
he's
stranded
a
in World War II.
Yeah, World
Yeah.
War
And
II
this
pilot who
and
crashed.
this is like in the 70s.
Yeah.
So they've come across him, and he hasn't seen anybody. Yeah, and they're kind of in the jungle. It is kind of Vietnam War mixed with
Like they have the Hueys flying around and
yeah,
stuff.
and the tribes, the tribal
Yeah.
people, and
Yeah.
Kong himself is pretty cool in the movie, and he isn't the bad guy. He's kind of he defends the island from because there's a bunch of other creatures. So Samuel L. Jackson's trying to kill Kong because Kong killed a couple of his men,
Yeah, in self-defense.
and then the other people are trying to convince him that he's good. And it's kind of, I mean, you see it coming the whole movie. It's laid
you
out,
think
but it's
Kong-
good action.
In most cases, is Kong a good person? Well, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
He-
like
I mean, they have the scene of him holding the girl in his hand in
Yeah.
the movie. Like,
Yeah.
that happens. And
have you seen the first King? Well, not the first one, but the one from like 15 years ago.
2005, yeah.
Well, there's one with, like, Jack Black.
Jack Black,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
one. I like that one a lot.
First time I saw it was at your house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
And then, obviously, a new one just came out, King Kong
Have you
vs.
seen
Godzilla.
that?
No, I haven't seen it.
I have.
That was a movie I started in my COVID days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
It was good.
Was it?
Yeah, I like it.
Was it better than Godzilla with the one that came out a few years ago with Bryan Cranston?
Yeah.
It was better?
Mhm.
I like that movie.
Yeah, I mean they're both good in their aspects. But
Yeah.
yeah, there was more
Nudity?
action.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. It's an easy watch. You know what you're getting. Good action.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, I watched a very confusing movie. I actually watched it last night with Shaman, so he's going to have to help me because he's seen it before, but we watched Sphere. Okay? Have you ever seen that?
No.
No?
Nope.
No? Dustin Hoffman, Samuel L. Jackson,
Queen Latifah.
Queen Latifah's in it, Sharon Stone is in it. So, but basically what happens is Dustin Hoffman, back for another president, was asked to fill out a report for what to do if an alien lands on Earth. And he just filed basically a bullshit report. Turns out an alien lands on Earth with a new president, and they call on him and his team that he had written down for who would need to come. And he's like, dude, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Basically, right, Shane?
Yeah. He made the bullshit report of people he knew.
Yeah.
Mathematicians,
People that really,
biologists.
I mean, some like that.
They're qualified, but
Maybe not necessarily the best, the
Best.
people you would bring to a situation like that. And what happened was they were laying like a cable along the ocean floor, and it got snapped. Turns out there's a craft down there, a huge craft
under the water.
like on the ocean floor. And it's weird when everyone gets there, they're starting to talk about it, and they say there's 8 yards of coral around the thing, the ship. And the biologist is like, that doesn't make sense because coral grows at like 8 centimeters a year or something like that.
1 inch every year.
1 inch. Okay. So, and then the mathematician's like, yeah, that's 300 years old. So the ship landed there in the 1700s.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they're exploring it, and the door opens. They can go inside, but then they realize the ship is a human ship. Like there's signs that the
Trash
words are written
says
in
trash
English.
on it.
Yeah. So they figure out it's a ship from the future.
U.S. spaceship from the future.
Yeah. And then shit starts getting weird, and this is where I got confused.
Okay, so they find this golden ball in like the
Yeah.
hangar part of the ship. By the way, this ship is huge. It's like 4 football lengths long, wingspan longer than anything they've ever seen before.
Yeah.
And it's huge. Well, they find this golden ball in the hangar area.
Nothing's
perfect-
alive on this ship. Completely a ghost ship. They found one body.
And it was a human body.
Yeah, but this sphere is like, it's alive, but not in like it's just
This is all happening underwater?
Everything's
and
underwater. And
they have the U.S. Navy set up like a lab, like a colony you would see on Mars or something. That's what it looks like on the ocean floor. So they have that, and then they have to walk out and like they look like spacesuits to get onto the ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the ball's alive, and they determine this by it's reflecting everything in the hangar except the human beings.
So it's choosing what's being seen against the ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they go back to this underwater habitat, and they're like, okay, what do we do about it? Whatever. They have a camera set up on it. Then Samuel L. Jackson's character decides he's gonna go try to get into it, but it's seamless. There's no way possible to get into this golden ball.
What you forgot
The sphere?
Yeah.
Yeah. What he forgot too, they realized it was from the future at this point. Okay?
Yeah.
Because they found like a tape on the bridge that said there was an unknown event that happened, which was them
going into a black hole and
into-
getting sent back in time.
Okay. So then Samuel L. Jackson's character is like, well, if they came back in time,
And it was unknown event. We never make it back to the surface.
because if they made it back to the surface, they would have known what this event was,
Yeah.
So
be
he
unknown.
realizes they're all going to die down there.
Is this a good movie?
It's really...
It's trippy as fuck, and it gets worse. It gets
Because I have no idea what you guys just said, to be honest.
it gets a lot more into it because he goes back in and tries to get into this sphere, and he somehow gets into it. He comes back out
He's vibing.
messed up, right? And he's able to project real things into their environment. He creates a squid.
When he dreams, because he was reading
That sounds stupid.
10,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
I didn't want to say it. I'm a guest here.
Say what you got to say.
Sounds stupid.
It sounds stupid.
Basically, what happens, the characters become able to control their environment with their mind.
the
feel like-
reality.
Yeah, so like
Feel like-
he's terrified of squid. What happens to one person? They get attacked by a giant squid.
It just sounds like it's like 5 different movies that you're all
It's so
smashing
trippy.
together.
I
It's
feel
a
like
good
we're
movie.
all dumber for having heard that.
Go watch it.
I will not.
God damn.
Damn, see?
It's good. It is pretty good. The
David's so offended. Look at it.
It's a good movie. I mean, you got great
I just asked if it was a good movie, and you said it's trippy.
Yeah,
Should have said yes.
it is a good movie.
I feel
Like
like
Donnie
guys did
Darko good?
God,
Damn.
I'm torn because
I mean, it's got,
Shaman didn't fight my
You guys
cause
are doing
too hard.
you guys are doing a poor job of selling this movie. That's
It's
all.
hard to sell. I'm like trying to describe.
I think you
astrophysics to
tried.
right
You
now.
should have just gave a vague description, and I think you trying to explain something super complex.
So
like
they're
that.
down on the lab. It's one of the classic movies.
I don't
where
think you can
where
do
they're
it.
at
He's
a
gonna
lab,
help.
and then people start dying off, and they have to survive.
Let me try
They
to
get
help.
tied off.
Any
or
nudity?
Cut off. No,
Yes, that.
no,
See?
there's not.
See?
It's perfectly
So
green
the-
on IMDb.
What would you rate it, Alex?
Oh, I mean, it was pretty good, but
In the sevens?
seven.
I'm not watching.
7-4.
See? It was pretty good.
It was a fun
What'd
movie.
you get? What,
I'm sorry that
wait a second.
What'd he say?
8-8.
And what'd you give Toy
8-8?
Story?
I like
Jesus.
the movie.
What did you give Toy Story?
8-4.
8-4.
Hey, I'm gonna say this with all due respect, and I mean all due respect. Go fuck yourself, sir.
Jesus.
My type of movie.
That might have been too aggressive.
It's a
Hey.
thriller. People
Maybe
die.
not though.
You got time travel.
So is it a bad movie if people don't die?
No. I'm just, there has to be suspense, and there was no suspense in Toy Story, really.
What do you mean?
Or are they going to get back to his house in time for the move?
Yeah.
That's the only
they?
suspense.
No. What about when Buzz goes out the window? Where'd he go?
He went to the yard.
You don't know that.
Where else would he
I
go?
mean,
Well-
wasn't somebody tied to a rocket in Sid's backyard?
That's Buzz. He was going
On
up.
the verge of death.
And
can
then
fly.
and then they
No, he
catch up
can't.
to the
He thinks he
falls
No,
with
listen.
style.
They catch up to the truck, and then the car's batteries die. So then they're stuck again. Double suspense. And then Buzz is like, "Woody, I have the rocket." and then they fly.
Yeah.
And he's like, Buzz, you're flying.
Shaman's insane.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
And you watch it.
Sorry for. No, I'm not.
It's
I'm
free.
not sorry.
It's
I'm not
free to
sorry.
watch.
What is?
Sphere.
Oh yeah, it's on Tubi. It's a good movie.
I feel like it's gonna cost me something.
No, it'll
Time.
No,
Yeah.
There are ads,
Most
I'll say
valuable
that.
thing in the world.
some of the stuff you watch, and you're gonna
What? Criticize something. Nothing.
I gotta get back to you because I was not prepared for the
That's right.
rebuttal.
Watch nothing but gems.
Ah,
If it's trash, I turn it off. I know.
you didn't turn off Donnie Darko?
Because I wanted to follow it all the way through. It wasn't. Donnie Darko's not trash.
Prove me wrong
not-
and watch it.
It's not the best movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That's a challenge. Prove me wrong.
You watched Donnie Darko, so now you should watch Sphere.
No.
You should. You give him.
Give me your
Your
actual
due
feedback.
diligence.
Oh wait,
I'm
how's
gonna
Dude-
watch one of them.
Donnie Darko?
Pick one. Yeah, I don't really.
No, I'm asking Alex.
Donnie Darko.
What? Say it again.
Donnie Darko.
How's Juice? How was Juice?
You know, it was good. Not my kind of movie.
Yeah, right. You didn't watch it. My point exactly.
That's a really good movie.
I feel obliged to mention Quantum Leap because we didn't in the time travel thing.
I didn't want to date myself by bringing it up. It's already a rough fucking crowd in here. but yeah, Quantum Leap. My dad loved it, and he's time traveling, but he's not. He's traveling to people. If you've never seen it, and honestly, I don't even know the
So
end
like
of
a
the
Bill and
series.
Ted situation?
No, it's like he's on a mission, but he doesn't know what the mission is exactly. So he
Takes form of
Leaps.
somebody else.
like he's
Oh.
another person. So like
So he'll turn into Napoleon.
yeah, but it. I think there were famous people that he would.
But it was mostly
leap
pretty
into.
light, right?
Yeah, it was mostly random people. He would leap into my. He would be me, and I've got some problem going on in my life, and he would figure it out. And
see a
but
doctor.
he was trying to get home back to his timeline, his life, and he didn't really know what he was supposed to be doing or how he got home. What he, and
Did
honestly,
he remember what it was like before?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Because I was going
had
to
a
say, how
guy-
would he know when he's actually home?
I mean, he would be himself. Like he would, it would just be like kind of instant. He would wake up and he's a woman, and like he's looking in the mirror and he's a woman, and he's like, fuck, like all right, I'm not home, obviously.
But you as the viewer see him sometimes too.
yeah. And he
So
had a
you
guy.
know it's not.
He had a guy that like was like his sidekick,
Like
kind
guiding
of like.
him,
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It
I just
came
felt-
to mind when
I just felt it should be mentioned
Yeah,
before we go.
yeah.
Also, I don't watch it, but Doctor Who
Yeah, I was actually going to mention that.
I feel like should be mentioned just because
Great show.
people will probably be expecting it. So
Yeah, great show.
Yeah.
A lot of time travel, obviously.
yeah, and it's pretty light too. Yeah,
Yeah.
People die in
but
that.
people die, so Shaman
Yeah.
loves it.
Loves it.
People, aliens,
All of them.
yeah, creatures.
Oh. Damn. All right.
All right, well I think that's gonna be it. Thanks for our guests for coming in today,
Thanks
and
for having me back.
yeah, absolutely. And follow us on Instagram, hit us up. Appreciate you guys listening. Until next time.
See ya.